Yo, what up, YouTube? Shotgun Shogun here. Welcome, chat. Welcome, YouTube. So we're going to be talking about Ancient Inheritance today because, well, Ancient Inheritance is over. And I know in my one video I said, man, I'm going to record this stuff every day, but I didn't because, well, you know, I was putting out like 10 plus videos a week, so it was a little bit rough, and sometimes I just completely forgot. But now that Ancient Inheritance is over, I want to kind of talk about Ancient Inheritance, some of the things that I learned, some of the concerns that I have for it, and some of the things that I thought were really good. Now, first off, I really liked Ancient Inheritance. I thought that it was a lot of fun. I thought that it was interesting. It was an interesting game mode. Now, I've seen people criticize it already. You know, it sucked. It wasn't that fun. It wasn't that, you know, whatever. A lot of people I find that weren't having fun with it were in dead guilds. And this is something that, you know, right out the gate, I think was one of the biggest problems. Is that if your guild was not active, you did not have a good time, because there would be 10 of you that were try-harding Ancient Inheritance, you know, coordinating, whatever, and the rest were just kind of either not logging on or they were just exploring. Now, one of the things from the very beginning that I didn't think about was how much energy you would have, right? I thought that you would have enough energy to get to bosses, do a little bit exploring, have a good time, you know, open chests, stuff like that, but you really don't. If you're trying to push to the last floor, you have to be very cognizant of every single step that you take. Now, this kind of concerns me a little bit because there's literally no point in fighting the normal enemies that are on the map, right? Now, if you looked at my first Ancient Inheritance video, you know, which was up on my YouTube, you'll notice, like, I did attack, like, a random thing because, I mean, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know that you were going to be so constrained on energy throughout pretty much the whole time that you had to make a beeline for the elites. You had to make a beeline for the wardens. You had to make a beeline for the boss, or you were not going to be able to clear what you needed to clear. Now, for the most part, you know, my guild was pretty active. We had some people that didn't know what they were doing. And again, a lot of people just wanted to explore the map. They wanted to open up chests. They wanted to do the little cool scroll things. They would be like, oh, something's here on the map. Oh, I should go click that, instead of just making that beeline for the wardens. Now, the other thing too is a lot of people didn't really have a good base on how to fight a lot of the bosses, so it was a big learning experience. And I think that that was actually one of the more fun things for me, right? Is that, yeah, I used units that I haven't used in a really long time, like Luna, Fire Ken. I used Fire Ken C. Lilius really often and abused the crap out of those two. I leveled warriors. I figured I would Oonga Boonga Warrior Berserker my way through everything, because that's just how I play the game. Now, one of the other things too that I learned after a little while, and I kind of inherently did this, mostly just because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use warriors and soul weavers throughout the vast majority of this. Is I just leveled warriors and soul weavers. A little bit later, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll put some points into knights or something like that. And I don't think that that's actually the best way to go about it. And that's a little on the concerning side. And I think that they're going to need to balance this a little bit, because if you want to win at this, you take whatever it is that you have the most of. I've seen some people that did really well with mages and soul weavers. I just did warriors and soul weavers because all of my warriors are, you know, for the most part maxed with good gear on. And the other thing too is it's interesting because now I'm gearing warriors that I have zero intention of using just for Ancient Inheritance. I think that that's kind of neat, right? Because before I just threw random gear on them. They were literally, I'm like, you know what? I'm not using this warrior for anything at all, you're just going to be a gear dump. You're just going to have random gear on. Now, the gear is scaled down, right? But at the same time, your gear does carry over. Your artifacts do carry over. So now I'm going through my account and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm probably never going to use this character in RTA or PvE or Arena or Guild Wars, but I'm going to use this warrior in the next time that Ancient Inheritance comes back around. So that's kind of cool that you are using these older characters. Yeah, the boss mechanics were super brutal too. There were just sometimes like the boss that just seals all of your passives right out of the gate, just seals all of your passives. Now you're like, man, what do I do? Oh, that's right, you bring crit damage Gunther and your Hua Young, because both of them are now going to crit for a metric pile. Now, granted, they don't get all the attack, right? But doesn't matter, because they still did an absolute massive amount of damage. ML Ken and Ainz did like 800k damage. Yeah, like that's the thing. Most people wouldn't think to use these in the same situation. And you can kind of gear them with different artifacts too, based on specific bosses. The class enhancement makes up for several sealed passives. Yeah, that's true as well. Like after you get to a certain point in the class enhancements, like you're hitting like an absolute madman, and I had a lot of fun with it. You know, my obviously go-to was Sea Lilius, Hand Guy, Apoc Ravi, and my Hua Young. That was pretty much my go-to on a lot of those, and you just did stupid damage. It was insane. Do you need to put characters gear on characters, or does gear not count at all? Gear does count, it's just heavily scaled down. So you don't want to take in a completely naked unit. Not only that, but I believe the passive, like the set bonuses, are still static, right? So you're still going to get your speed set. You're still going to get your, your crit damage, anything like that. So yeah, no, it was really, really cool. I had a lot of fun. Gear carries over. I thought it was just the set. I put 44 white gear to flesh some out. No, it does carry over a little bit, but it's scaled down from what I've read. I didn't really pay attention to it because a lot of the warriors, especially at the very beginning when I brought them in, were already geared. So it is something I think that maybe next time around. I didn't think about it. I thought about it after the fact, and I also thought about it now because I just reminded myself of literally just going in and checking, as how much of a difference it is. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how they go from here. Now, one of the things that I thought was really cool is that the exchange, right? I thought the exchange was definitely worth it. Now, a lot of people at the very beginning, I saw people that were like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to clear this out. What do I pick first? Stuff like that. I obviously cleared everything out. The fact that I got an epic artifact charm and artifact charms in general was great. You're getting 2 extra molas. It's almost like a side story. Now, my 88 pieces of gear kind of rolled like doo-doo. And honestly, I think the next time around, I'm not even going to bother getting these. I'm going to get 4,000 currency worth of artifact charms. Because these artifact charms, like I think at one point I ended up with something. Now, again, like I said, at the beginning, maybe I opened up too many chests. Maybe we didn't beat 4 because I was too busy opening stuff up all the time. I'm going to blame everybody else except for me because, well, I need the artifact charms, right? Because, I'm a content creator and I'm going to need everybody else in the guild to carry me while I just open up all of the boxes and get my artifact charms. That's really what it is at the end of the day. So I'm gonna need Shogun to step up so that I can slack off. That aside, I did think that the rewards were really, really good for the amount of effort that you had to put in, which was very little, right? Very, very little effort was needed to put in. Like, I just did my normal daily stuff. We cleared floor 3 and did some stuff on floor 4. And I had more than enough to clear everything and get, like, 60 artifact charms. Next time around, I'll probably get a little bit less because I'm going to probably open less gold chests. Gold chests are account dependent. Silvers are shared with the guild. Yeah, no, the silvers are shared with the guild. Gold chests are just specifically you. Now, tons of dust, tons of other stuff. I liked that the little scrolls had, like, the choose your own adventure sometimes, and it's like, hey, do you want to use some provisions and get this thing or that thing? One of the things that I did have, like, some concerns on, and this is like a really early level thing, is the fact that you only get so many units at the very beginning, and after you fight, they're out for a day, right? Now, later on, it's really not that big of a problem because, well, you have so many people that, like, you're only attacking wardens and bosses for the most part. So you have more than enough bodies to throw at a warden or a boss. But, like, first day or two, it's a little bit rough. You do like 3 fights and you're like, well, I don't have anybody. So in your mind, it's more constructive to use your energy to just go out and find stuff and level up and all of that stuff, whereas you kind of want to save it for the next day and then throw your stuff in, and you really need to balance your energy with your attacks and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to take, like, a couple of tries around before people understand, like, what the best course of action is. And I actually hope that the next time they bring it out, they change it up, honestly. Like, I would really like some sort of, like, rotating, kind of like randomized type of thing where it's not the same one over and over again. The bosses change, locations change. I think that would keep it fresh, keep it real, keep it new type of deal, where, if it's just the same thing every month, then people are going to have a strategy. They're going to go, you need to move this here, you need to level this for this boss, this is the best build, these are the best units. I mean, that's going to happen anyways, let's be real, because that kind of thing always happens, right? But I don't think that, I think that being able to, like, swap it up, now the big concern is, how often are we going to get this? Is it going to be a 2 weeks and then you have 3 months off? Because I feel like if they don't bring this back on a semi-regular basis, let's say, like, even every other month, I can't imagine that they're going to do, the rewards were too good for a 2 week on, 2 week off type of deal. I'll be real. From the Smilegate standpoint, there's no way that they're going to do this every other 2 weeks. There's no way they're going to do this once a month. I'll be flat out. It doesn't use any normal energy that you can refresh. So it's not like people can just slam through it. There's no real monetization here. This is literally just free rewards. Like, this right here costs you no energy. It costs you very little time throughout the day. Like, you just go in, do some attacks, and you're good. Now, I would love to see this once a month. I would absolutely love to see this once a month, even if the rewards are dialed back a little bit. Like, once a month, semi-dialed back rewards, but if the rewards stay the same, I would actually be perfectly fine if this was once every other month, right? It requires a good guild, though. If you want to get to the higher floors, it does. Raildex. If you want to get to the higher floors, it does. But, like, if you're even in just, like, an unactive guild, like, you can just walk around. You can just walk around and grab a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it's still, even if you're not in a good guild, it's still literally free stuff. Like, that's kind of the way I look at it. And you know what? That's also going to be interesting too on how people deal with this, because like dead guilds, man, dead guilds is they're not going to be able to compete and get higher in here. Our guild barely cleared 4-2 and I got all the exchange rewards. Yeah, so see, you know, from a business monetization standpoint, they could do some ads for more energy in this event. Bro, do you understand how upset people would be at that? I mean, I can already see it right now. They'd be like, I gotta watch these like 30-second ads to get more free stuff. Bro, oh my god, dude, this free game that I'm playing, I gotta watch some ads to do some free guild content, bro. Oh, why Smilegate loves money so much? Why Smilegate love money so much, dude? This is crazy. This is the worst thing ever. Yeah, people would be really upset about that and not so much realize that, I mean, this is literally free stuff. I feel like this is the price that Smilegate has to pay to keep guilds active. You're not wrong, Josh. You're not wrong at all. And the fact that people were already super mad about this, like I've already seen people that are like, oh, it's unfinished, it's not what I expected, it's too easy, or it's too hard, or you have to have a guild in order to get higher, or like all this other stuff. And like nobody's like, man, you know what's really cool? This is free. This is just free content. Like, even if it doesn't take you very long throughout the day, you know, like Wando said, yeah, he got to level 4-2, and it completely, you know, wiped out the exchange. You know, I think that overall, Ancient Inheritance was really fun. Now, something we talked about earlier in chat, before I started the video, what would be really cool and what would be good content for Smilegate, and I know you don't watch these videos, Smilegate, but what I think would be really, really sweet is if 1 month you had Advent, then you had 2 weeks off, then you had Ancient Inheritance, then you had 2 weeks off, then you had Advent again, and then you had 2 weeks off. This way you have 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off of stuff that you're doing on like a regular basis, right? Because people really like Advent. You know, it's a good way to get stuff. It's a good way to get mod stones, you know, guaranteed certain mod stones, things along those lines. I think that doing that would be really good. Now, if they try to do Ancient Inheritance during specific guild war seasons, like this was my concern when they first announced it was just going to be 2 weeks and then I was going to have a wait period, right? Is if this is only 2 weeks every 3 months, your guild's going to die in the meantime, right? You're gonna have this cool PvE content that's gonna give you a ton of free stuff, and then you're gonna have 2.5 months of just guild wars and nothing else. In that time, chances are your guild's participation is gonna wane a little bit. My guild got to 4-3 and no one talks, thought it was fun. Yeah, Drew. I mean, we have a little bit of talking in Shogun, but not a whole lot of coordination. But yeah, we beat 4-3. But if you don't have this, like even 2 months, right? Even 2 months is a pretty long time. A month and a half of just nothing there, and you just waiting for the next Ancient Inheritance. Like I said, even if they dialed the rewards back a little bit, first off, people would be super mad. Let's be real. The moment that you dial back any rewards, because, well, let's be real, the first Ancient Inheritance rewards were really good. Anybody who says otherwise, I think that you're wrong. I think that the rewards for the effort put in and the fact that it cost you nothing out, like compared to like, if this cost you, if you could only enter it like so much throughout the day and it cost you your normal stamina, I'd be like, okay, well, the rewards need to be on a certain par based on the stamina that you use, because you could be running Wyvern, or you could be running Side Story, or you could be running something else. But considering it's a completely separate stamina system, I think that the rewards were almost too good. Now, somebody's going to be like, Shogun, shut up. Don't tell them that it was too good, because they'll nerf it. Well, one, they don't actually listen to me in the first place, so you don't have to worry about that. But two, it's like when they dialed back the epic pass after the first one. Yeah, the first epic pass was ridiculous. It was way too good. Anybody who didn't get the first epic pass was dumb. There was no reason not to get it. Even if they dialed it back just a little bit and they gave it to us once a month, that would be 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I think that would be great. Don't worry, they don't nerf. They don't nerf units. They'll nerf rewards, Raffle Tank. Oh my god, I remember when they nerfed the epic pass. Oh my god, man, people were so mad. So mad. The biggest trick was day one. We all got 150 rations. Then on day two, we only got back 50 a day. Yeah, and I think that like you have to really take the first day into, well, yeah, old Epic Pass was better. That's not even a question. Old Epic Pass was disgustingly good. New Epic Pass, still really good. New Epic Pass, still super worth. I think that, yeah. New Epic Pass, still fine. It's one of those things where it's good enough that you should get it, but it's not so good that you have to get it. Well, I wouldn't say that it's better than nothing, because sometimes, like, what if you put in your 900 Sky Stones, it was actually only like 600 Sky Stone value, right? Then that would be not better than nothing. That would be worse than just not buying it whatsoever. Honestly, I do think that they need to run this on a semi-regular basis. Now, again, I think that this was a lot of fun. I think that people in inactive guilds probably not having as much fun. Which, again, the other thing too, and you might want to check on Discord, but I know that the secondary Shogunate guild, Daimo, might have spots. They're a little bit more casual than Shogunate, so if you're looking for a guild in the future that is fairly active, I do believe that they have some spots, and they're a little bit more casual but also active, and maybe new people coming in will prod them to be a little bit more on the active side. But I do think that overall that this was a huge success. I think that it was awesome. I actually enjoyed the fact that there was the leaderboard, and it didn't matter who got it. Like, everybody got the rewards, like those Skystone rewards. That was really cool. I would actually like to see them put like a Hall of Fame in, right? Maybe like the guild gets into like the Hall of Fame, like the first 3 people that clear like a certain floor. That recognition, because like PvE, like here's the problem, and the thing why nobody really tries hard for PvE is that like there's no real recognition. Like, did you guys know that there's like a leaderboard for the Hall of Trials? Like, most people, I don't think most people know that. Like, I don't think that most people know that there's like a ranking. Like, I don't know how this dude got 12.5 million points. Like, that's crazy. You see previous ranking. Like, if this was rewarded, I feel like more people would try hard on this, right? Like, I think that that's like the big thing, is there's no good reward for tryharding PvE. Granted, there's no real good reward for tryharding PvP either, but it is what it is. Maybe if like they did a thing where like, if they had like a season or something, with these in Hall of Trials, like maybe if they expanded upon it a little bit more and like did something with it. Most people just go in, they throw in an auto team, and if they get like anywhere close to, triple S plus, they're happy, right? I guess you do get more in rank reward. Okay, I literally should have clicked on that, right? So you do get some extra for rank reward if you're in the top 10% or whatever. Okay, maybe they put that in there. See, how many people even knew that? Yeah, hands up. Let me know in the comments section if you even knew that was a thing, because I didn't know that was a thing until I clicked on this. Because who goes in here? Who even really goes in here at all? You go, oh, okay, Kayron, okay, cool, I need to use Rangers that decrease hit chance. Hands up. Damon knows. Okay. Damon, absolute pog champ. I usually wait until Sunday when there is literally an hour left, and I go, oh shit, I didn't do my Hall of Trials. Thank you, Discord bot, for letting me know that I needed to do my Hall of Trials. Regardless, I think that would be really cool if they did something with Ancient Inheritance where it was like, yeah, as soon as Ancient Inheritance comes out, boys, we got a hardcore PvE this. Let's get in a Discord channel. Let's get into voice. All right, boys, we're going. It's time. Let's take down the Warden. You know, obviously that's not going to happen, right? But it would be pretty cool if there was like a cool incentive to be the first one to take it down, you know, or in the top 3, right? I think that would be pretty pog. You know, just to get your name up there type of deal, you know, some sort of PvE incentive. But I think you kind of needed that for a long time. But yeah, that's my take on Ancient Inheritance. I do think it'll take probably a couple rotations before people know exactly what to do and what the best choices are. I do hope that they still like rotate everything and you know, keep it spicy, keep it fresh, and don't take too long between the next iteration of it. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that I'm going to be the most interested in seeing, is just how long it takes between the two things. But anyways, if you guys like this content, as always, like, fave, subscribe, comment down below, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace.